Hello everybody! So for starters, let me just apologise for being away for the last couple of weeks and really behind in my reviews. I was struck down by a really nasty flu, and even though I'm recovering at the moment, my voice is still pretty scratchy, but I'm determined to get these reviews out and get up to date with everything. So thanks for sticking around. I'm back. Here we go. Despicable Me 3. So Despicable Me 3 once again stars Steve Carell as Gru, and also this time his twin brother Drew, and it was brought to us by the same team who delivered Despicable Me 1 and 2 and Minions. Now, I really liked Despicable Me 1 and 2. I thought they were kind of these interesting movies that transcended your normal animations in as much as they looked kind of realistic but had a very Looney Tunes kind of feel to them. I really loved the heart and sentiment of the first one. The second one, not so much, but here we come to the third one, and I really enjoyed this film. It was a lot of fun. So in the film, Gru, who previously in the first one was a dastardly villain who turned good, meets his twin brother Drew, who wants to carry the family tradition of being supervillains. He wants Gru to come back and, be dastardly and villainous again. Of course, throughout the story of these films, Gru has turned his back on his evil ways. He's married a character named Lucy Wilde, played by Kristen Wiig, and they're part of like an anti-villains league. He's also got these 3 daughters that he's adopted, so it's a little bit of a conflict for Gru as to whether or not he wants to join his evil twin brother and go back to his evil ways, or if he's going to stay good. And this time around, we're introduced to a new supervillain named Balthazar Brat, who was a child star in the 80s, and he grew up wanting to still be that bratty kid that he played, but he sort of turned it into that character times 1,000, and now has, a super secret villain stronghold on an island and all sorts of stuff. And this character is voiced by Trey Parker. Now, oh man, I can't even put into words how big a fan I am of Trey Parker. Everything this guy has ever done, even aside from South Park, movies like Orgasmo and Team America, I love everything this guy has done. So for me, there was a little bit of bias involved in this film. So the things I love, look, the animation is absolutely fantastic. The animation throughout these films has been getting progressively better, and now we're just at a point where, like I said before, things look so realistic, but you got these characters with accentuated features like noses and stuff, and so it's just this really interesting blend of realism and not realism. And in particular, there were these segments in the film that cut back to these 80s TV commercials, and my God, they look so realistic. It was incredible. And there's a whole sequence towards the end as well involving a giant robot, which that looked fantastic. So look, the animation throughout was absolutely spot on. Plot-wise, there is just not a dull moment in the film. It is a hyperactive story. I really, I enjoyed every moment that I was watching on screen. I really enjoyed the dynamic between Gru and Drew, who both characters played by Steve Carell. The two of them, one of them. Either way, they worked really well together, and I love the uniqueness of Balthazar Brat. I just thought, his whole image, the whole 80s thing, the whole 80s music playing in various scenes, I just thought he was absolutely a joy. And also, the 3 girls, they were given this little subplot where the youngest one, whose name escapes me from now, Edith, I don't know. Anyway, she wants to find a unicorn. She believes they're real, and I dug that whole little side plot. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's not the kind of movie that's really going to make you think. It's not going to change your life or anything like that, but it was solidly entertaining. And as for the Minions, I only just recently saw the Minions film because I just couldn't really figure out how these characters would translate into their own film, and honestly, I wasn't a fan of it. I like these guys. I really like these guys, but in small doses. And yeah, thankfully, once again, they were just given kind of a side plot in this film. And yeah, I dug them. It was good to see them back to how they should be. But look, as far as things I didn't like about the film, I think the main thing for me was that the characters didn't really change by the end of the film. Any sort of effective storytelling, your characters have to be different at the end of the film than they were at the start. And realistically, there wasn't that much of a story arc for any of them. Maybe except for the twin brother Drew, but we were just sort of back to the start at the end of the movie. And also, the character of Lucy Wilde, I just didn't think she was really given that much to do. I mean, previously she has, been such a strong, effective character, but in this one, she was just kind of really just brought in at the last minute to save the day, which, was kind of hokey, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen her do a bit more, particularly because she's played by Kristen Wiig, who's just one of the funniest actresses out there today. But look, overall, I dug the movie. What can I say? I thought it was a really good time from start to finish. I loved the villain in it. I thought the animation was absolutely fantastic. Definitely want to see it again, definitely going to add it to the Blu-ray collection, and I'm going to give Despicable Me 3 an 8 out of 10. The funny thing is, I actually thought that I was running late with this review, because I saw it like Saturday before last, like a week and a half ago, and because of the flu and everything, I couldn't do my review up until now, but I only just noticed earlier, it's not even coming out in the US till the 30th of this month, so yeah, there you go, early review. Booyah! And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this review and putting up with my incredibly scratchy voice. I do apologize about that, but yeah, I just wanted to get this review out. I've also got to catch up with Pirates of the Caribbean 5 and The Mummy. Haven't even seen these films yet, so I'm going to get out there as soon as possible and do reviews of those. And as always, thank you to everybody who's been subscribing to my channel lately. I really appreciate it. You guys are the absolute best. Now, so let me know if you've seen Despicable Me 3 or if you're going to see it. Let me know what you thought of the film. Drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below, because I like to try and talk about movies, and I would love to talk about movies with you. I'll catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.